During China's Spring Festival, the largest annual human migration on Earth, something really fascinating is going on. Now, tradition is all about going home for the big family reunion, but a huge clue to a major cultural shift is hiding in a very unexpected place, the country's hotels.
Okay, first, let's just try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale here. During this year's holiday alone, there were nearly 600 million domestic tourist visits. That number is almost impossible to imagine, and it really sets the stage for the mystery we're about to dive into.
And get this, those visits pumped over 800 billion won into tourism spending. Both of these numbers, by the way, are all-time highs. So you've got more people moving and more money being spent than ever before. But here's where things get, well, kind of weird.
This is the big question, the paradox we're going to unravel today. If the entire point of the holiday is the family reunion of the ancestral home, why are hotels all over the country, from giant megacities to tiny little counties, completely booked solid? Let's break it down.
All right, our first clue comes from a trend that basically flips the whole tradition right on its head. Instead of the young folks flocking from the cities out to the countryside, we're seeing the exact opposite happen.
People are calling this the reverse Spring Festival. So young professionals who've built their lives in cities like Beijing and Shanghai are now the ones inviting their parents to come to them for the holiday. It's a complete 180 on the usual migration pattern.
And listen, this isn't some tiny niche trend. The growth here has been absolutely explosive. Air ticket bookings for these reverse trips surged an incredible 84% this year compared to last. I mean, this trend has officially gone mainstream. And for so many of these parents, this is a totally new experience. The number of passengers over 60 who bought their very first flight ticket ever jumped by 20% this year. So that raises the question, right? If they're visiting their kids, why are they staying in hotels instead of their apartments?
Well, it really comes down to this feeling right here. Yeah, a lot of city apartments are small, but it's more than that. Booking a nice hotel is an act of love. It's a way for these adult children to give their parents a comfortable, really special experience. It's a gesture of care and, a little bit of pride.
Okay, let's move on to our second clue, and you'll see how this all starts to connect. Now we're going to look at the young people who do follow tradition and go back to their hometowns. But even they are changing the rules of the reunion. So here's the choice that a lot of them are facing. On one hand, you've got the family home. It can be crowded, maybe lack some modern comforts, and you've got relatives visiting non-stop. On the other hand, there's a hotel nearby that offers personal space, your own schedule, and a much-needed mental break from all that socializing.
And the data totally backs this up. In ordinary, non-tourist counties, I'm talking about the kinds of places you've probably never heard of, hotel occupancy shot up by over 60%. And just to be clear, these aren't tourists. These are kids and grandkids coming home for the holiday.
The reasons are both practical and, well, really personal. The old family home just might not have enough rooms for 3 generations. Young people are used to modern amenities, But maybe the most important reason is that a hotel provides what one person called a psychological buffer zone, just a private space to recharge.
All right, now for our third and final clue, which introduces a really surprising new group to our holiday hotel paradox: international travelers.
Just look at that number, 400%. In the weeks leading up to the holiday, flight bookings to China by foreigners surged by over 400% compared to last year. That means 4 times as many people decided to fly right into the heart of the world's biggest family party. So what on earth is driving this? Well, in a word, social media. The hashtag Chinese New Year has over 10 billion, that's billion with a B, views on TikTok. There's this viral trend called a very Chinese life stage, where young people all over the world are adopting Chinese cultural habits. They're not just coming to see the Great Wall, they want a real, authentic cultural experience, like learning to make dumplings or watching local folk performances. And they are coming from everywhere. I mean, sure, nearby countries lead the pack, but visitor numbers from places like Italy, France, and even Argentina have absolutely skyrocketed. They're exploring deep into China, way beyond the typical tourist traps. So, let's bring this all together. You've got parents traveling to cities, kids staying in hometown hotels, and this huge wave of foreign visitors. The hotel paradox is solved. But in answering it, we've actually uncovered a pretty profound shift in what reunion even means today.
It all boils down to this new reality. You have three totally distinct groups, each using hotels for their own unique reasons, but all of them are contributing to a brand new vision of what this holiday is. It's not just about one type of journey to one type of home anymore.
And this is the real shift. This is the big idea. The whole conversation has changed. You know, a decade ago, the question was simply, are you going home? It was an obligation. Today, the question has become, how do you design your reunion? It's all about intentionality, about comfort, and about creating the experience that works best for you and your family. And that leaves us with one last thought. Whether it's for a holiday or just a simple get-together, this idea of reunion is becoming more flexible and more personalized for all of us. So it's worth asking yourself, how do you design yours?